Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Tyr. Tyr, this is when you say hello to the fine people at home.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Sorry, Mike did some things. I am Pope Pius, Pius 16, the Piously Pious. Today's reading from the Book of the Dead shall be from the Book of Fire and Ashes. I expect you all to pay attention.
And then Adam, who seems to have just returned. Hello, Adam.
Oh, hi. Man, it's a good thing that we have a little bit of time before we can start, but man, can I tell you about a few people that I really have a deep disdain for? I mean, honestly, these people.
Wow, Adam, don't just talk about me. Okay, fine. I'm sorry.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Wait, are we?
We're live. And part of me was hoping that you were just about to do those goddamn tinkerers.
Oh, those fucking tinkerers, dude.
Just pull out like a fucking Middle Ages slur.
No, I was gonna talk about the wigs, but them tinkerers.
Don't you talk about the wigs. I'm a proud wig, sir.
Whoa.
Tinkerer is, in fact, a middle-aged slur. It means gypsies.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Esmeralda was kind of Bonnie Way, so let's...
Yeah, if you say fuck the Tinkerers and you're talking about Esmeralda, you mean that fuck slightly differently.
Yeah. Oh.
Wait, brown chicken, brown cow.
Wasn't that Oh, hold on. Yes. Hello and welcome. I guess this is the... welcome.
This is the greetings, yes.
Yes, okay. Hi, welcome. Thanks for having me.
And of course, it is once again a Friday, but not the first Friday of the month. I'm the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are both of you doing tonight?
I'm good.
That's good to hear. How about yourself, Adam?
I'm glad it's the fucking weekend, to be honest.
Yes.
But also, just a little side note, I'm upgrading all this stuff to Windows 11, so a lot of things are kind of happenstance and all that. So it's fun. I don't know what that means, but
it is what it is, and it is what it ain't. God damn it!
Hey, Sanguine.
Yep.
What'd you make for dinner?
Ooh.
So, dinner, as it is still within my few weeks of challenge, I went for something really simple. So yesterday I made a peasant's bread with my dinner. I used half of the peasant's bread during last night's dinner, so I had half of a peasant loaf for tonight, which I then sliced.
What is peasant's bread?
So peasant's bread is a no-knead bread where you just kind of bung everything in, you mix it up so that it becomes homogeneous. You let it sit for a bit, it rises. Then you do a knockback that isn't a kneaded knockback, just kind of poking at it a bit until it gets knocked back, and then you roll it out into whatever your baking container is. You let it proof a little bit longer, and then you bake it.
Okay.
So it is the easiest type of bread to make. Since, like I said, all it is you mix everything together until it's homogeneous. And your knockback is just kind of poke it with a couple spoons for a little bit. So, had half the peasant loaf. I sliced off 2 slices, and then I took the butt of the bread, which was left. So I had about a 5-inch tall chunk of bread from placing it on the butt, letting the cut ends stand. So I carved out the insides of that, plucked out all the bread from the inside of the butt of the loaf, and then heated up some butter and a bit of lard, with garlic or powdered garlic, powdered onion, and what else? I'm blanking on which herb I grabbed. I grabbed a herb, tossed in a bit of a herb, and let the butter and lard melt, infuse with the flavors that I threw in, and then poured that into a bowl with the chunks of torn up bread, coated the bread with that mixture, and then filled the crust that I had left with all those torn up chunks of bread, tossed it into the oven to roast so that the top little bits kind of got crispy and delicious, but then the rest of the bread was kind of like torn up garlic bread. Really good. The 2 slices just brushed with some of that, tossed it into the oven, wrapped up so it stayed nice and soft. But
thank you, Sanguine. You just remind me I need to make garlic butter.
Yep, got that delicious garlic bread flavor as well. And then I took a chicken hindquart that I had dry brined for. This is the 4th night that it would have been dry brined. So for 3 going on 4 nights, tossed that into a hot pan, seared it up on all sides, tossed in some sliced up onion, a bit of sauerkraut, and then sprinkled in a quick spice mix that I made of garlic, onion, smoke powder, and paprika.
Ooh.
And then let that all roast up in the oven for a little bit, tossing the onion and sauerkraut around to let them get coated in the seasoning and roast up nicely, flavoring each other in the lard. And then plated up that butt of bread, the 2 slices of garlic bread, the chicken hindquarter, and then that roast onion and sauerkraut mixture. Had it with a Victory Sour Monkey as well, which was absolutely delicious.
Yeah, that sounds tasty. So what's on the docket for tonight, Sanguine?
Usual, talk about whatever the fuck we decide to talk about. There's a couple things that have been annoying the piss out of me recently. Just because people... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn the AI bundle. Just listening to what you were saying, how crazy would it be that it's a wartime movie, and the story is that they're transmitting military operations through recipes?
That's fucking amazing.
That's a fun little way of doing things.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Yeah, brought to you by herbs.
See, I was
herbs and spices.
That it was going to be brought to you by Ronco.
But yeah, no. So, are we allowed to talk about anything? Huh?
Yeah, usual Friday show. Talk about whatever the fuck takes our fancy.
I want to talk about the massacre of the Wee Whack people of Whack Whack. Tari Diamantis knows what he's done, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Sounds like they fucking deserved it. So, one of the things that has been annoying the shit out of me, because every time that I've looked into it, I've found something else that I've been going, well, this is over a century old and hasn't been overturned and is still being talked about as fucking valid. Is everything when it comes to the immigration bullshit that people have been flipping out about? Because did you guys happen to know that over a century ago, there was a Supreme Court decision over whether or not deportation and deportation hearings needed to go through the due process as outlined and protected in the Bill of Rights? Did you guys know that there was a Supreme Court case on exactly that topic?
And what was the outcome?
Over a century ago, in Feng Yue Ting versus the U.S., the decision was, yeah, that shit doesn't get due process. That shit gets none of the protections because it isn't a punishment for crime. And they held that every nation has the primordial right of being a nation to decide who they allow in and who they don't.
I can banish you back to your third world.
Yeah, if you're here illegally, we can deport you. It's not a punishment. You don't get due process protections as they determined in the fucking court ruling. So this is why deportation proceedings normally don't even have a court that they go through. They're just kind of, they review it internally. They go, yeah, this person's here legally. And then they deport them. And a person can then petition to be allowed back into the country. But they do that from where they were deported to. There's exceptions to this. So if you have a special category of immigrant that has been granted additional protections by Congress, then, yeah, you're allowed the additional protections guaranteed by Congress. So, for instance, when it comes to asylum seekers, asylum seekers have a different process than illegal immigrants when it comes to deportations. So for asylum seekers, you do need to go through a little bit of a process, but even then, it isn't really so much, well, you get your day in court. No, it's that there is a day in court, and if they need additional information from you, they'll let you know. So even there, it isn't quite what people refer to as due process guarantees. And then for the case of green card and visa, that's another good example. So green card and visa. So there's by and large, the authority of determining whether or not a green card or visa is a valid green card or visa has been ceded to the Secretary of State, if I remember correctly. And the Secretary of State has the ability to go, yes, we're going to allow this green card to continue being a green card and be a valid green card, or this visa to be a valid visa, or no, we aren't. And there's certain criteria that they can't use. So, for instance, it has been determined that, yeah, you aren't allowed to exclude people by the base of their race. Which that was, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Even though if you read the decision for Feng Yue Ting versus the US, that was due to the Chinese Exclusion Act. Hey, Sora, how it goes? And
Yo, Sora.
As it was due to the Chinese Exclusion Act, they are still allowing for it to be on the basis of race. Later on, it was determined that, yeah, Congress decided, no, we aren't allowed to do that. So now the Supreme Court has been going, yeah, they aren't allowed to do it. But if it's not on the basis of race, then the Secretary of State can still do it. They can still go, yeah, we don't want to keep this person here. And there's certain criteria that are outlined in INA, the Immigration Naturalization Act, that say not only are there situations that it should be that the immigration status is pulled, there are situations that if this is found to be the case, then it says it has to be pulled. Not can be, but has to be. Which is where a lot of the ones that people have been getting pissed off have fallen into. The best example of it is the Mahmoud You guys remember Mahmoud and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the things that is a guaranteed, you have to void a visa or green card, is if someone provides support to a terrorist organization, and in the section of ENA that explicitly says if someone does this, then their green card or visa is rescinded. Explicitly states providing support to a terrorist organization is not limited to monetary support, but includes moral support.
Ooh.
So it isn't that you have to have been shown to have provided monetarily, but going out and about and distributing a terrorist organization's propaganda would qualify as
moral support,
supporting them morally. So that was one of the things that, again, I'm looking at it going, okay, we've had this on the books for decades in the case of that provision. We had the court ruling for over half of our nation's life now, because it is from the late 1800s that court decision was made. And then the other one that is driving me crazy is people are going, well, it's fucked up that we're extraditing people to El Salvador, to prison. That's denying them their due process. And we've had extradition treaties for ages. In fact, the extradition treaty with El Salvador that we're using is over a century old as well. Again, every time I look into this topic, I find another thing that I'm going, this is fucking ancient and it's still in existence and no one's had a problem with it until now.
It's because the evil orange man is doing some evil orange man shit, saying what you don't, what aren't you understanding? Like the government, our nation didn't form until 2016. All this, you know what? Technically, slavery only happened in the last 50 years, according to some people.
And that's the thing that's driving me crazy, because
Time compression. There it is.
I'll keep on looking up things in the topic, and I'll be going, well, what the fuck is... Why are people acting like this has never been decided, that this is a new thing? Because this is a very, very fucking old thing. And when it comes to the extradition treaty that we have with El Salvador, like I said, over a century old, it's probably one of the chillest extradition treaties that we have on the books, because the extradition treaty is... if there is a person or a member of a group that is wanted by El Salvador, and El Salvador is willing to take them, and the U.S. is willing to send them, then the extradition is able to go ahead. There is no compulsory element anywhere in the fucking document. It is entirely, if you want to. And if they want to, then
it's all good.
It's all good.
I'm still more. It's more. I'm more perplexed and more. What the word I'm looking for? And annoyed that the current one, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Now, mind you, it's been proven that he's a criminal. You know, he's an MS-13. Part of the reason why he couldn't go home initially was because a rival gang, you're right, would kill him. Well, in order to be a rival gang, you have to be a member of another gang. You know, what gang are you part of? You know, So that would mean you're admitting to being a gang. He had gang tattoos, gang paraphernalia, was caught with several key gang members, had a gang ranking. I'm pretty, you know, the saying, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, has webbed feet, you know, wings and a bill. Nope, it's a fucking bunny, I guess.
Oh, whoa, hold on. Because Tyr, I heard a similar story alongside that, but it wasn't that he was fleeing because he was worried about the gang. The story I heard was he was young and the family was worried because the family was being shaken down, so they didn't want him to go and get caught up with the gang.
All right, again, you have gang tattoos. You have a gang ranking.
No. The whole point of him getting into America 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however long he was out there, it was to prevent him from joining the gang or being part of any of this stuff. But we find him, was it smuggling some people and then having the gang tattoos, so it all comes around. So
yeah. And the thing is that a lot of people have been reporting on the decision by the court incorrectly when it comes to this as well, because they've been reporting on it as if, well, no, the court determined that his right to due process was violated. The court determined that the federal government might not have followed the proper procedure in order to void his asylum status. That was what the issue was. Which is a very different thing than saying that, well, the court determined that illegal immigrants get to have due process. No, it was, this guy was at one point given asylum status. Was the proper procedure, as outlined by Congress, followed in order to void the asylum status? The court determined that there's reason to believe that it might not have been. So the court decision was that the U.S. has the obligation, if El Salvador, this is the funny part to me, if El Salvador is willing to return him, the U.S. has the obligation to facilitate that return. Which is a very, very different thing than a lot of people are reporting. So, if that's the decision, which that was what the court found, it was that if El Salvador is willing to return him, then the U.S. has an obligation to take him back.
Yeah, but El Salvador is saying, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, El Salvador is going, well, he's a citizen of our nation. We determined that he was a member of this gang. We want to incarcerate members of this gang. Why would we smuggle a known gang member into the U.S.? Because that's what we would view that as. So they're going, yeah, we aren't going to do that. And by the court decision, that is functionally, that. Okay, they aren't willing to return him. The court did not go, no, Trump needs to storm El Salvador.
Yeah, I'm not starting a fucking war for a gang member that beats his wife.
Yeah, there was no Supreme Court decision of we need to storm El Salvador in order to get back this dude. It was, we might not have voided his asylum status correctly. So if they're willing to return him, we have to facilitate the return. Very fucking different message than what a lot of people are making it out to be.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things that each time I look into this shit, I'm going, okay, yeah, here's another document from ages ago that is still acknowledged, that is still honored, that is still treated as law of the land, that says that people are wrong about how they're talking about this. And for some fucking reason, people are still acting like, oh no, this is a clear violation. When, no, it's actually the exact opposite. It's clear from the way that this is talked about in the law that, yeah, this is fine. There's the issue of, we might not have voided his asylum right, which we should void asylum correctly if we're going to be dealing with asylum. And that was the interesting thing. So if he is returned to the U.S., so let's say El Salvador decides to return him to the U.S., we have to facilitate his return. We can then go through the process of properly voiding his asylum status and then send him straight the fuck back. Because it wasn't that we can't extradite, it wasn't that we can't deport, it's that in this specific instance, we might not have gone through the proper channels in order to void the asylum status. That was the decision.
Again, keep him there, keep him there, keep him there, keep him there. I don't want him back, and I don't want to pay for his anything. So yeah. Fuck him.
But just the number of people say, well, this is getting rid of due process. No, it isn't. It was determined that due process doesn't fucking apply in this case over a century ago. What do you mean it's getting rid of due process? It never was a due process matter. And I just realized I only screwed on half the cap for this bottle, and I just spilled a shit ton of crap on myself while I was trying to shake it.
Ugh. All right.
I was quickly mixing up a drink for myself and went to shake the bottle that I just poured it in. And I forgot part of the lid because it has like a 3-part lid. And I have 2 of the parts. I didn't have the 3rd part. I need to find the 3rd part at some point, but right now I'm just going to go to a different bottle.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
Whoa. So what are you pouring yourself, sir?
Oh, this I'm just mixing up effectively the drink that I use when I'm working out. It's a bit of creatinine. It's a mild vasodilator that just helps get more blood to the muscles. Tastes like sour watermelon. It's delicious.
Soured watermelon.
Sour watermelon. Not soured, but sour.
Yeah.
So it's watermelon with a bit more citric acid.
Yeah, I don't like watermelon.
What kind of black man are you?
I'm not black. I'm just a heavily melanated white man.
Suffering from revitiligo.
Yeah, I got the revitiligo.
Shit.
I mean, I've shown y'all my face before. Y'all seen my face before. Let me put it back up there because I don't want people to mistake me for anybody else. You know.
The opposite of what Michael Jackson had.
Yeah, I got a touch of that Reveal Lago. Like I say, so I've been on this Lovecraftian and horror kick.
Well, you know, I hope that's going to be the next Pope.
Again, Pope Pius, the 16th, the Piously Pious.
I think
Again, that
somebody who might be a model.
keep these jungle.
For myself.
I'm gonna keep these jungle bunnies out my church.
You might need your headphones.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. What up, Quiz? My first rule as Pope is I'm keeping these damn jungle bunnies out the church. I'm kicking them all out. All of them.
Wait, what's a jungle bunny?
You don't know what a jungle bunny is?
No,
It's like a snow bunny.
It's the opposite of a snow bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like I said, it's like a snow bunny, only darker.
It's a moon cricket, son. A porch monkey.
God damn it, dear.
What? A spook? A spade?
Can we jump on your bed? Yeah, hold on.
Tyr heard that these are his words, and he's gonna use his own goddamn words if he has them.
Exactly. Like I said, got to keep them out the church. They ruined the white.
Too close to
white Jesus. Praise white
those
Jesus.
words like they're operating under Japanese IP law. If you don't use them, you lose them.
Exactly. That this is the direction I'm decided to take the church in. All right.
You know what you did, Jake.
And
Yeah,
hello, Sora.
you know what you did, Jake.
Didn't you say hello, Sword, earlier?
I think so, but I couldn't remember, so I'm saying it now.
No, she doesn't get two hellos. She only get one.
What's up?
Well, she gets
I
one
think-
for the Canadian side. She gets one for the Romanian side.
Okay, fine then. All right. We'll give her that one.
Hello, by the way.
Sure. The quiz. Ugh, sorry.
Now then, I can actually drink my drink rather than just pouring it all over myself.
What was I about to say? I've been on this Lovecraftian horror kick. What are you meowing at, cat? Oh, your paw is caught in my. Hello? Oh, she got her paw caught in one of the cords on my and she started meowing because she couldn't get off of it.
Hey, Esper.
So she started like, human, help me, human.
I got a Jakey.
I got fair.
But you're on a Lovecraftian horror kick, you said?
Yes. Ever since I've finished up Look Outside, that game is fucking amazing. It's a little rinky-dink, barely not very graphically powerful. Maybe a gig memory, if that. And it scratches the Lovecraftian horror kick. I'm loving the new mic, Rod on Sam.
Have you played Call of Cthulhu yet?
I need to get that one. I need to get
good.
that. I need to get Call of Cthulhu, and I need to get the Sinking City.
Have you played
Yeah.
Sunless City and Sunless
No,
Skies?
Sunless Sky and Sunless Sea. Yes, I've devoured my crew.
I want to get Sinking City, but
I think I
They
have
don't-
Sinking City.
they don't offer it in physical, so I figured I'd just wait until it goes on sale on Steam.
Yeah. Oh man. No, I don't. I need to wait till it goes on sale on Steam. I have that one.
Quiz, I'm slightly surprised you aren't doing what I'm doing and have Mume up. As
Oh yeah. I do have Call of Cthulhu. I totally forgot I had Call of Cthulhu. This one, it's another one that they just scratched the itch for me. If it's just.
Is it Mumei's last stream? Sanguine?
It's Mumei's last unarchived karaoke.
Oh, okay.
What's another one that's pretty interesting?
I
can't get into Darkwood.
Terrible, but she's still singing like a goddamn angel.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Mumei. Mumei's a
Quiz.
really good singer. What's up?
Quiz. Have you played Dredge?
I own it, but I have not put it in my Switch yet.
It is Dredge
I have a
is
physical copy. I've heard Dredge
it
is really
is
good.
a fishing game. It's
yeah, I know.
All right, it's Cthulhu. It's fishing Cthulhu. It's fun.
Yeah, like I've seen like the massive leviathans that you have to avoid and so on and so forth. It's a pretty cool game.
What is a fishing game?
It's like an isometric game where you like go around
Like
and it's
a
like a
crane
fishing barge, huh?
Like a crane game?
No,
Well, it's not necessarily isometric. It's open world.
There's a bunch of stuff to it. It's a cool game. I say if you want to see it,
It
check
is.
it out. I do have it a physical copy on the Switch.
Another interesting Cthulhu-esque game from a while ago, Darkwood.
Ah, yeah, Darkwood. I watched Lena play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Darkwood is pretty good for that as well. You're wandering around a creepy wood that is just going more and more wrong the more that you walk.
Yeah, it's got a lot of like horrible like mutations of like people, and like it's got a trapped village inside of the Darkwood and so on and so forth. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game.
What game?
Darkwood.
I can't get into that one. For some odd reason, that shit fucking terrifies me. I have it.
It's a scary game.
Shit.
I watched the playthrough of it because I want to know the story, but the opening scene is you are taking like a dog. You have to kill a dog. Like,
yeah.
When the first thing you have to fucking do.
What about the horror aspect? Is it that you guys are like that's what gets you?
Me, I love it.
Don't get me wrong. I love it. Right, don't get me wrong. I love it. It's more the what's the one for? Shit can just pop up out of nowhere and get you. It's a true survival horror because you have shit for resources. I mean, shit.
Yeah, that game is built around the fact that you are like alone in the woods and you need to fend for yourself in every possible way. You've got like the cabin that you're in. Also, you can reinforce like the windows and the doors so that the creatures at night can't get in. But then you also have like the nightmare that encroaches on you, and it doesn't matter about how much you've barricaded yourself in the cabin, you can and still get got. It's a cool game. It's a cool game.
Have you ever? It's an old game. It's done by Screwfly Entertainment or Screwfly Interactive or Screwfly Games, and it's called the Fear. It's called I think it's Fear Equation, and the premise. The premise of the game is essentially you are on this. There's this mist that's encroaching on all reality or around you, and you're on this train, and you have to gather people from the train and go to various locations and guide them to get resources. But you have to make sure you keep moving because if you stay too long, the fucking fog or mist will come and like it'll start fucking with people and. People can get pissed off at you and essentially overthrow you and kick you off and throw you into the fog, and you can. The game is fucking insane, and it's all it is. You try. All it is, you try and get from one end of the map to the other and surviving. I have never completed a game of that. Always fucking die.
That kind of reminds me of, I'm trying to remember the name of the game, and now I'm scrolling through my library because there's two of them. And I remember one of them is, it's like Dead in Bermuda and Dead in Vinland.
I think I have Dead in
I've heard
Bermuda.
of both of those, but I don't think I've played either.
So in both, you are in Dead in Vinland. We'll explain that one first. You start off and it's a family that has shipwrecked, and they end up finding this small hut. And every day they have to find shit to survive. But there's things that are attacking them, humans as well as inhuman things attacking them. There's food that they have to worry about, supplies that they have to get. They're all kind of fucked up mentally because they've survived a lot of shit already. So you have to deal with their mental status while dealing with all the fights and trying to find out how to survive better. And as you go, you learn more about the world and more about why the fuck you're here. And Dead in Bermuda is a plane crash, I want to say. It's either a plane crash or a boat crash. Where
Is it around the Bermuda Triangle, though?
Yep.
Oh.
And you end up stranded on an island with a number of survivors. And you're trying to find shit in order to survive. But things are going weird around you. And you can find objects that help you. You can find objects that hurt you. You can find different survivors that are strewn about the island. And natives and shit like that. So as you go through the game, again, you learn more about the world. But it is...
I still love when Pippa played the forest.
Oh yeah, the forest is fun.
Because, like, right in the beginning, like, you get... you're in a helicopter, and it crashes.
Oh, you're on a plane for the forest. Sons of the Forest, you're on a helicopter.
Oh, it's the Sons of Forest then that she played. But she you start off on a helicopter with this other guy, and the helicopter crashes, and the other guy goes deaf. Like, you can see his ears are bleeding and everything like that. And he's like, he's not just deaf, he's also like brain damaged.
Yep.
So you have to like write orders on a piece of paper and show it to him, and he'll go and try to complete the orders as best as he possibly can. But the entire time, Pippa's just doing things like slapping him and like punching him, and and then like later on, she finds a grenade on the shore, and you just see her face light up.
Wow, talk about a bitch!
And the first thing she does is throw a grenade at Calvin. Yeah, but then later on when she's playing and she encounters the cannibals and they start like beating the shit out of Kelvin, she like starts screaming and like, "I'll fucking kill you! Nobody can bully Calvin but me!"
Apparently, they're getting another Dead in. It's Dead in Antares.
Oh,
so it's you know what? It's a dollar. Dead in fucking Bermuda is $1. $1.50. I will buy it.
Yeah, Dead in Bermuda was their first one, if I remember correctly, and it's the cheapest of them because
I already have Dead in Vinland,
the shortest of them.
If you want a recommendation, though, I do highly recommend Call of Cthulhu. It was a very
I have it.
game. Yeah,
I have it. I looked at my Steam library and I have it. It's
Also, there's Control, if you haven't played that.
Control's really
I have Control. Yeah. Control. All right, this is what gets angry with me about Control. The thing that angers me about Control, now hear me out, is I fucking hated the flight mechanics of Control.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I cool, you can fly, but it was just so fucking awkward. She just kind of hovering. Why? And I hated the fucking motel sequences. They pissed me off too.
What I almost would have preferred in Control is if it was first-person exploration, but then in the fights, it went almost XCOM-like.
Yeah, like and that I would have loved that a little bit more too, where you had to tactfully do things, you know, and the powers were essentially your allies. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's something like that. Or how about this one? You have to retake the big house or the oldest house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a squad that you lead.
Yeah,
You know?
like I'm saying, I think it would have been really fun if it was exploration first person, and then the actual combat was almost XCOM-like, and it was as you went through, you would acquire survivors, and your character was still the one that was gaining the interesting abilities and shit like that. So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I saw one that Lena played that I really am interested in. It was a bit like Farming Simulator meets Silent Hill.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one recently, and now I'm trying to remember what the fuck the name of it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Because I know what you're talking about, where you start off and it's Farming Simulator, but then as you go through the game, things start going wrong.
The one that got me was the...
Are you talking about Don't Starve?
No. It's a first-person game.
Oh, are you? No, that's the one I'm thinking about is fucking the bunny game.
The bunny
It's
game. Like
yeah, it's a game called. Wait a minute, no.
Oh,
the Bunny Graveyard.
Don't think I've seen that one.
It is essentially you. It is Lovecraftian horror too. It looks all cutesy and sweet, and then you start playing and shit just goes tits the fuck up. I think y'all like it if you looked at it. But you were saying first person Farmville with horror aspects.
It's like a first-person farm sim that then, as you're going through the game, shit starts going sideways in interesting ways.
Yeah, like I said, the major thing that got me was the fact that like the horror aspect changes if you like
Fonzarelli,
yeah, if you like you check the painting in the in like the downstairs like lounge area every day, and it like portends how horrific your day is going to be. It's kind of cool. I like it.
Oh.
First,
Rob, I'm guessing it's a hell.
Descent into the Woods.
No. I say I'm the one bowling right now. Otherwise, I'd look it up. Lena's playthrough. Give me a second.
No. It has farm sim elements, but it's not.
It's like the Tempest Boys played. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it now, but it's like Rancher Simulator or something like that. And the game was essentially exactly the same, only now it's got like horror stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Here, I'm done with this frame. Let me see if I can find it.
There's a game that I just found in my list that sounds familiar, but I can't for the life of me remember the fucking thing.
What's it called?
Limbus Company.
Oh, I know what Limbus Company is. So if you ever played, it's a sequel to what is that name of the game? It's sort of like SCP, where you're managing SCPs, but they're not SCPs. Fuck. And essentially, you're on a train. What is it called? Lobotomy Corporation. It's a sequel to that one.
Okay.
So essentially, this is what essentially you're not whatever the fuck happened at the end of Lobotomy Corporation, whatever it is, it got the fuck out.
Okay, I found it. It's called We Harvest Shadows is the name of the game.
Yes, that's it.
All right.
And it's very good. There's some Lovecraftian aspect to that too, because like there's one sequence in it that really freaked Lena out that I thought was hilarious, where as the sun sets, the moon starts like growing, and then like as you look in the sky, it like the clouds part and a gigantic like horror face is like looming over you, like over the mountains and shit. It's like a gigantic person just like looming over you, and it's freaky and it's great. I love it.
Now I have to look that shit up.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game.
No, I want to see that sequence because it's not out yet. It's only a demo.
Yeah, it's only a demo right now.
But I really want there to be more games that'll start as like one style of game.
Yeah.
But then as you progress through the story, shit starts to shift.
Turns into a completely different kind of game. Yeah.
Yep.
So y'all want Evoland. Evoland is essentially that. It starts off as this little different art styles of video games, and then it goes through the various aspects of RPGs and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want something like that, or where you start off and it's
okay
in a farming simulator, and you're dealing with the farming simulator type gameplay, and then as it goes, you start getting like threatening letters or some shit. And suddenly it's a base defense farming sim. And it just keeps on progressing as you go through the story, where new gameplay elements are added in.
Wait a minute, Simon, before you show that one. Hold on.
Oh, it's not something that I have to show. Oh, yeah, the screen that you just popped up. Let me know when.
Go ahead, show it now. It's muted because I can
swap over.
Holy shit.
Okay.
So, hold on.
Okay. All right, trying my best, man. Oh, right. That was the note about. Oh god, is it chasing me? Oh,
What the fuck?
Oh, I get it now. Look away, but don't look too long. So we'll
they're following you
while we're kind of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
At least a little bit. Oh gosh, feels like it's right on me. Ooh. Okay, that's absolutely terrifying.
Dude.
Stop. It's like
get in the fucking house.
Okay, just go upstairs. Oh, hi there. Oh, that's totally normal.
What the hell is that?
No, you don't. Your eyes are closed. I see. Don't lie. Okay, maybe you do. Strange.
Oh, that was from We Harvest Shadows, I believe.
Yeah, that was from We Harvest Shadows. That's why.
But
I'll see if I can find some more.
it would be fantastic having games like that. Like one game that I really want to become a thing is
Hey!
I want it to be a game. Kind of. I want it to be genre change the game, kind of. But I want it to still have elements of the original game, so it isn't just that, oh, yeah, now you're in the home defense section of it. I want it to be that, no, in between you getting attacked by whatever the fuck is attacking you, you're still running a fucking farm.
So you gotta go out there and fucking harvest before.
Yeah. So it starts off and it has no hint that that's what's going to happen. But then just as it goes, things start to change. And then you have to deal with the changing scenarios. It's kind of like how one of the games
shit.
If
Suck my motherfucking dick. Sorry.
If I had the ability to go to a studio and go, okay, drop whatever the fuck you're working on. This is what you're working on now. It would be a game where there's a lot of the Phasmophobia-like games where you go in and you try to figure out what the fuck's in the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be a game where it's that, but then taken to another degree. So it has a bunch of different monsters from different mythologies. And the first part of the game, a team goes in and they figure out what the fuck is there. And that's all they're doing. They are the investigation group. They go in, they figure out what the hell is actually in the house or in the building or in the area. Where each map would have several different sizes, so it might just be a house, it might be an entire section of a city. But after the investigation part, it would take the info from that, and then you'd go into the second half, which would be the hunt.
Damn it!
Okay. So, first half, you would find out that, let's say, your investigators came back and they went, yeah, this is definitely a vampire.
Damn it!
Then, second half, you'd go in, and you would be geared up for vampires. So you'd have holy waters, you'd have wooden stakes, you'd have crossbows, you'd have shit like that.
Did I fucking win? I fucking won. Fuck all of you.
That would be what you'd go in to deal with. And if you were right, fantastic, you're now decked out for the right type of monster.
190. Not a bad score.
So you have the highest chance of actually being able to kill the fucking thing.
I'm not gonna argue. It's on my fucking.
But
right?
you still have to be able to actually survive the hunt. But if you get it wrong, then you're equipped for a vampire hunt. And it turns out that it's not a vampire hunt.
It's a ghost hunt.
Yeah, you're dealing with a Lianshi.
Okay.
So that cross and crossbow, the wooden stakes, the holy water, all that shit that you got, that you paid for in order to bring on this hunt, doesn't fucking matter. And now you have to react on the fly and figure out something in the area that will allow you to survive the hunt.
The witch hunt game is actually pretty good.
The one that's set in the Old West?
No, there's one that's literally just called Witch Hunt, I believe.
Oh.
Where it's 3 phases. The first phase is a werewolf. You have to go out and kill a werewolf, essentially. Then the second phase is you have to kill the witch's Skraling tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is you have to fight the witch. And then it's a surprise boss battle after you finally finish hunting the witch, where the witch summons a demon out of the river, and you have to fight that. But it's actually a really interesting game.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
It's not on Steam or anything. It's on itch.io.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Like I said, I think it would be kind of fun having a game where it starts off in first round is investigation. So you're looking for any clue to tell you what the fuck you're dealing with. And during that, it's possible to die, but it's not really possible to really fight. So the point is you get in, you figure out what the fuck you're dealing with, you get the fuck out. And then
I mean, it makes sense, right?
have it be that it then goes to the hunt, and depending on how you did in the investigation, you're either properly equipped or improperly equipped. And if you're improperly equipped, it is just a frantic endeavor to try not to die.
You're either fucked or you're good and fucked.
Yep. And make it so that the hunt is still challenging, even if you have everything, so that you can still lose. But make it so that it feels like if you get it right in the first part, then you're going, oh, hell yeah. I'm in good stead in this fight. Whereas if you get it wrong, and make it so that if you try to equip for more than one thing, it becomes really expensive. So you can get a good earnings out of equipping for the right fight. But if you try to equip for 2 fights simultaneously because you're going, oh, it's either this or this, then your earnings are slashed. And if you go for more than 2, you're in the red every time.
Don't get greedy.
And exactly. It would be embarrassing having the wrong monster killing supplies on you during a hunt.
Well, I came prepared to fight a goddamn werewolf. Oh, it's not a werewolf. It's a skinwalker.
Yep.
Well, fuck me.
Oh, speaking of for Skinwalker, there's a really good Skinwalker hunt game as well.
Oh, nice.
And what is that?
Huh?
The hunt?
No, shit. I watched Oni play it. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Have it
I think it's just called Skinwalker Hunt. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's from the same guy that made the Witch Hunt.
Okay.
That is kind of funny. Nothing. A werewolf? Their wolf.
Har. I think you totally.
Would you
have a
like to
fucking
go
bogey
for a
here.
roll in the head?
Yeah, well, it kind of.
If there's a werewolf, is there a Y-wolf, a howl wolf, a wind wolf,
Yeah, that guy. This guy. Right
and a who wolf?
No, but there was a Verman.
What's their Vermont?
I don't know if you want to talk about Vermox.
Hey, excuse me, a Vermont. Like, what are you trying to say? Of course, there's a Vermont.
So there was, if I remember the etymology right, it's Ver means man. So a
man
werewolf is a man wolf. And man, in the language that Ver meant man, was the way that you could feminize something. So a woman was a Verman. And then you had
Holy shit.
werewolf.
A Vermont, a werewolf.
But Sora, don't you agree that that would be a fun game where you go in, you investigate, and then you have to actually hunt?
Don't bring Sora into this.
Yeah, don't bring her into this. She's a Kanakistani.
Yeah.
She was engaging with the idea.
We can't trust the words of Canuck
Oh,
Stadium.
you fucking!
Oh yes, it was Whiff. So
It's
it was
It's his home. Send him home.
Wereman and Whiffman. You're right.
Again, she's Canuckastani. She doesn't know anything.
Sora prevented my last shot. That's
God damn it, Sora. Why did you prevent this? See, she's not even
Son of
there.
a
And she's
bitch,
fucking-
bro! Why did you just go home?
That's all I was asking. Don't make me do that. How would you do?
Happy Gilmore.
Yep. Hey, I can't wait for
When's
the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh God, no.
I'm still in it.
But yeah, what I would
Are you?
also
Surprisingly,
really
the first fucking
She goes, don't
You got
blame
like
for
a
your
7 stroke.
they're like, yo.
what I'd also really want in that game though is not only for that to be the general structure, but make it so that there's certain things that are in the actual lore that if you know about them, they'll help you in the hunt and they'll help you in identifying the creature.
I got a
And then
question.
there's-
Sanguine.
Yep.
Have you ever seen Captain Chrono?
I don't believe I have.
Oh, it's an old movie. Caroline Monroe. I forget the main actor, and it's about Captain Chrono. He's a vampire. He's a monster hunter essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and and it had this subversion of expectations where you expect the hunchback henchman to be the drooling, sniveling idiot sidekick essentially.
Mm-hmm.
When actually the intelligent one is the hunchback, and he knows all the lore, and he does help with the investigations and shit like that. And he goes, all right, so we're gonna hunt. We're hunting a vampire, but what kind of vampire are we hunting? Okay, let's do this test. So they go out and they bury they take a toad and they bury it in the ground where they suspect the vampire's nest is. And he goes, okay. If we come back and the toad's alive, then we're dealing with this type of vampire. If it's not, okay, we have to do another test, and it's essentially what you're proposing. Oh, yeah. we can take if we take cat's blood and smear it on the tree. If that tree's bark has been eaten away, oh, it's this type of vampire.
Yeah, have it so that you have your notebook in game, and your notebook in game has tips that are just general bits of knowledge about each creature. So vampires, they can be driven away by crosses. These are some of the common symbol or signs that a vampire is in the area, that type of shit. But as you go, make it so that you can add to your notebook, and you can either, if you know the signs from actual myth and lore, you can add those signs in, or you can kind of figure them out as you go through the game, and then you add them into your notebook, and that notebook is the thing that gets passed from each character. So your character can die because you can fuck up a hunt, and then it's that notebook that is passed around through the characters and is your player continuity.
I say, please allow me to fucking at least sink it.
So it's essentially your apprentice takes over.
Yep.
Triple bogey.
Your apprentice or another hunter that has found your notebook.
Have you? It's called God damn it! It's a zombie game. Zombie U. Your Red Feather one. Zombie U.
Yeah.
Essentially,
where you start off as one survivor, and when you die, you spawn as another survivor, and you will then have to fight your old character.
Zombified corpse.
Still in the
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm. But you can loot it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
you can loot your old characters, but you can also end up fighting your old characters.
Yeah, so essentially that's why that's the idea I'm getting. Like essentially you have to you have to get the notebook back because you don't know shit, and it'll even give you a clue. Like it'll give you a weakened version of the monster that you're fighting. It was.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a werewolf, all right, you're a newly changed werewolf and you have to kill this guy. So you get a little bit XP for killing the werewolf, plus you get the notebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Who had the caddy? Would be cat? Would the caddy be a ghoul?
Hold on.
No, we're talking about a game that you know how there's the Phasmophobia style games where you go into a house, you figure out what type of evil entity is inhabiting the house. I'm talking about if I could get my ideal game made. My ideal game currently would be first part would be a lot like Phasmophobia, only it would just be the investigation portion. So you'd go in and you'd figure out what the fuck you're dealing with. You can die during that portion, but it's more if you start fucking up the investigation, then you'll die. And then the second portion is you take the findings of the first portion and you gear up to hunt whatever you're supposed to hunt. And if you got your first portion wrong, then the second portion becomes much, much harder. Because you're equipped for the wrong creature. So your shit for vampires doesn't work against Lianshis, for instance. Also, Lianshis are one of my favorite mythological creatures. Do you guys know what a Lianshi is?
Sex demon from Celtic lore.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
what is that? A Lianshi?
A Lianshi. So a Lianshi is effectively combine a succubus, a vampire, and a muse.
Oh, let me explain this. Let me explain. So, essentially, sex demon, while she's with you, you're in fucking inspired. You write beautiful fucking music, epic poems, all this cool shit. But bitch is draining you the entire fucking time. And once you're tapped out, you're fucking done. She sucks every.
Well, not quite, because
I think I probably dated her once.
The fun part about a Lianshi is that when you're with them, the life is amazing. And like Tyr said, you are inspired to create these amazing works of art that are incomparable to anything else. And then it's when a Lianshi leaves you, because Lianshi doesn't drain your life force while she's with you, but a Lianshi will eventually leave you.
Yeah, and she got Wanderlust.
Complete a last desperate work that is almost indescribable pain will be communicated through the work because it's the pain of loss of this love. And then after completing your work, you'll wither away. The Lianshi, after hearing that you fucking died, will come back, grab your corpse, drag you back to her cave, cut your corpse open, Lady Bathory in your blood, and absorb all of your artistic talent back into herself, which allows her to inspire even greater works.
Bitch is crazy.
Bitches pray. Wait, what are they praying for?
That's that. Bitches be crazy.
But yeah, the Lianshi, one of my favorite mythological creatures.
Right, bitches be crazy.
Because it isn't even the way that Lianshis are talked about. It isn't even clear whether they realize that they're killing these people.
I don't think they realize what they're doing. I've always come to understand that, like, you know, it's more of a, which one I'm looking for, of a instinct thing.
Yep.
Like, and again, it's more of, oh, well, when you're with me, your life is fucking amazing, but I have to go now. So, and that's when shit starts to go fucking downhill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fucking 17 points.
Yeah. Leonti's are fucking dangerous.
Yeah, and the part that's the most dangerous is that they're a sort of otherworldly creature that you kind of want as you're going through it.
Face?
So it isn't a
the last.
You're terrified. You're insanely happy the entire time that you're
Inquisitive pineapple.
You hate pineapple.
I hate pineapple.
But it's an inquisitive pineapple.
Yeah, I don't care. It's a fucking pineapple.
You don't like pineapples?
Pineapple's gross.
Dude, look at this is fake. Look at this. I didn't complete a golf outing, and we got the inquisitive pineapple. I hope this is recorded. As complete.
Pray away the cray crack. Oh man.
Jacob.
But hold on. Yay. So did you hear about the latest shit with Johnny Somali?
Oh, he's threatening to give people AIDS?
Yes.
Also, he's saying that he's been fucking so many Korean women when he made a video about how he couldn't
don't want him?
get fucked by prostitutes in the red light district.
Yep.
All I know is that he just keeps doing shit that's adding on to his rap sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he thinks that if he's more of a nuisance, they're just going to kick him out rather than throw him in prison for longer. Newsflash, retard. It's going to put you in prison for longer, and we're not going to have any fucking sympathy. We're going to say, throw away the fucking key. Thank you. You're doing America a favor by cleaning up the streets.
And South Korean prisons are no joke. South Korea, fantastic country. Prisons, no joke. They still have mandatory labor in South
that's
Korean
gonna be fucking fun for him.
Or prisons that are unpaid mandatory labor.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pick those cabbages.
Yep, you're out in the field picking cabbages, quite fucking literally.
Working on the change. That's the sound of the man.
Well,
working on
there's
the
a-
Hold on, listen, Uncle Ruckus. You shouldn't be joking about. No, I'm sorry.
Look, I can't help it that monkey. Sorry.
Oh no! Don't do it! Don't do it!
We gonna put. Look, he going back to what he need. That antique farming equipment going get the dust rubbed off it. Going back to the field.
So Pippa put out a tweet today that said, "Wish Japan had bounty hunters."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So the immediate reaction, what do you think that she's talking about when she says that she wished Japan had bounty hunters?
Like ninjas?
Somali?
I'm thinking the dude that did pull-ups on Cherry Blossom currently.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Kai Sanat, or was it Kai?
No, it wasn't Kai.
But he
It was-
apologized.
It wasn't Kai. Who was it? Let me quickly check. I want to, because it was one of the annoying white guys, if I remember.
No, it's either Aisho Speed or Kai Sanat.
It was Miskiff.
Oh, Mizkif. Okay. So she elaborates further. could send them out on missions to hunt for specific character merch, pop up collabs, stuff, and ship it back in bulk. So she's a lot more wholesome.
Yep.
But someone responded to her saying, I thought you were going to talk about nuisance streamers, but yeah, merch works too. And then I responded to him, I repeat, legalize hunting nuisance streamers for sport.
Again, if you go to these countries, when in Rome, do as the Romans, right? You go in there, you respect the culture, you don't fucking make trouble. You know, if you're going to talk your shit, wait till you get home to talk your shit.
Yeah, if you didn't have a good time or whatever, it's fine, whatever. But like these people because see, that's the thing. Johnny Somali's not the only one, and he's even got like an understudy who went and like threw a fucking icy snowball at a dude in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fled Japan because he was going to be prosecuted as well. And so he's going to try it in Thailand, and Legal Mindset was all like, please try it in Thailand. Please.
Look, you got someone, you got Vitaly in the Philippines doing that shit, and look at him now, like he's fucked.
Well, you can blame like all of these people have their genesis with fucking Ice Poseidon and Baked Alaska.
And fucking whatchamacallit, Worski. His shit in Mark.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I stand by this stance. I know my opinion is Inquisitor's opinion and does not reflect the opinions of the minions of the zoo, but I absolutely do hope that people start going out, finding these streamers, and beating the ever-loving fuck out of them in the streets. So much so that they don't even want to like take a step outside of their door. They should live in absolute abject fear. Fuck these people. They are vermin. They're beneath consideration. I don't even care if they go to jail or not. People should be taking the action in and of themselves. And this is the one time I support vigilante action. People should take the law into their own hands and absolutely wreck these faggots. Fuck these people.
See, personally, I want it to be that every country has their example case of, curious what happens to a nuisance streamer? Well, if you look in cell block D.
Yep. Or, you have, so do you guys remember, so guys walking through a mall, I think it was an Uber delivery guy, and he's getting food from the mall, and he's minding his own business, and this nuisance streamer fucking keeps fucking with him.
Was the dude that got shot?
Yeah, and they didn't prosecute. They didn't prosecute him because you have the evidence of you are harassing him. Yeah, he's asking you to like stop bothering me, leave me alone. I don't want to. Leave me alone, please. Leave me alone. I'm not. Just let me do my job. Leave me alone. And he pulls out his gun and he shoots. And again, puts one in his gut. He's lucky you survived. But if he had died, you provoked him. You would stop bothering him.
Yeah.
You're the one that made these threats. Okay. With another incident in the airport. They were going to steal this woman's bag for fucking clicks and shit. And her boyfriend, that's one of them. Fries like a dirty sack of taters.
Mm-hmm.
And her boyfriend was a big buff dude. Like this fucking mountain.
There's this one guy. I've seen his shit on it's been shared on like Instagram and shit.
Yeah, in the airport. Yes,
I got it. No, this guy in New York.
Yep, aim Worski.
He goes so this guy in New York, right? He goes up, he grabs people by the head, just random strangers on the street, grabs them by the head and does like a WWE wrestling move where he like jumps forward and like pulls their head down with him, like when he's it's like a suplex or whatever. And there's like a whole compilation of him doing this to just random strangers in New York. I'm like, this dude is gonna do this to someone at one point. He's gonna have enough of this shit, and they're gonna fucking shoot him. And I am there for it. I want to see that. Upload that thing, faggot.
Do you remember? It's another one I can remember. This kid was going around punching people, robbing them. Oh, it's just a TikTok thing. Y'all didn't see the part where we hugged and like he was cool with it. No, the fuck
Right.
we didn't. All we saw was you, and he's still prosecuting you. Fuck you, you little shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones where instead of ding dong ditch ding dong ditch, you have ding dong kicking the fucking door. Like they're just putting their whole foot in the people's doors, and one day somebody's gonna fucking get killed over that shit.
Yeah. You do that on my fucking house. Do that to my house. I'm fucking armed. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want somebody's gonna
Fuck around and find out.
and you would be within your rights because again, you know that somebody kicked in your fucking door while you were sitting there with your family, and for all you know, they're coming to do you harm.
Mm-hmm.
You shoot first, ask fucking questions later, and these little motherfuckers, because it's mostly kids, are gonna fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
You play stupid games, you win stupid fucking prizes.
Dude, shoot first and then sue the estate to get the price of your door.
Yep. Guess these morons don't do this in America. No, a lot of this shit is in America. Like the one that kicked in the door, the guy in the airport, the fucking one where he was punching people in the park and he got arrested. You know, that shit is done in America.
Yeah. There was
the one that got shot in the gut too.
Yeah, the one that I remember hearing about here recently, I thought was really funny, was some fucking IRL streaming faggot goes into an evacuated area in Florida when the
and he was trying to stay in
yeah, he was trying to he brought in a generator and all sorts of shit like that. It's like, dude didn't even realize that if he starts up this diesel generator, he's going to either number
kill
one,
himself,
burn the place down, or two, fill up the room with fumes and fucking fumigate himself. And it's like the entire time I'm like, what? Please don't arrest the guy. Just let it. Just let him.
Let nature take its course.
Yeah, and I want it all streamed. I want it all on camera. And these faggots will not learn until they die.
And you know what's the funny thing? They're recording their crime.
They're recording the crime, right?
The level of again, you are your biggest fucking witness against you. You recorded everything.
And Exhibit A is the stream in which we show that you committed this crime.
Yeah, right. What's your excuse? What is your excuse?
We got the VOD is Exhibit A.
You are your own fucking worst enemy.
And I'm going to say this too, because this was brought up by Legal Mindset and a whole bunch of other people when they talk about, especially Johnny Somali. They talk about the chat egging him on. I'm going to say this right now. The chat is blameless.
Yes.
Absolutely blameless.
Yes.
Because
and I agree.
it doesn't matter what any person in the chat says. It's on you to perform the action. So they could be sitting there saying go run up and steal that cop's gun, punch a cop. It's on you to do it. The chat does not magically have this puppeteering control over your actions. At the end of the day, it's your decision. And you could tell the chat to go fuck itself. Fine. You'd have a lot more integrity if you did that. But you don't.
Now, and again, you also have the issue where it is when he's doing the streaming shit, and he I don't know why the fuck they have it playing anyway. I'm pretty sure you can hook it up. Yeah, the text speech shit. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they can hook it up where you can have it play in your ear and it play on stream. I'm pretty sure it fucking could happen. So
Easy done. You don't have to set it up to a speaker that's going out to public.
Yep.
You're choosing to do that.
Yes. And if you do that, the chat will fucking never know.
Yeah. They'll never know that you're not playing the shit on the speaker. They won't. Because they'll hear it. They'll hear the sound alert in their speakers while they're watching the stream. They won't know that it's on the speaker or not.
Yep.
So if you choose to go ahead and put your text-to-speech shit on the speaker so that they can say the most heinous shit out in public, like Johnny Somali had something about like having sex with kids at a fucking child
amusement center, or Warski having back in the day. I hate nigga. I hate Tari Diamond's words. But that's what he had. That's what it said.
Yeah.
Again,
are you allowed to say that though?
He's black.
I think he's got the pass.
Oh,
I don't. Even though that I said nigga. I don't care.
Whoa!
Wait a minute. We're on minions. That's why I try to tone it down. Like if we were on my channel, I'd say it all fucking way.
I said it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But we're on the minions, so I don't.
You're gonna look at the race person that started the channel and be, oh, they're not black enough.
Oh God! Shut it down! Shut it down!
Shut it down!
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
It's just absolutely infuriating. The shit keeps on happening. What needs to happen is, like I said, every country needs to have their example of, oh, you're planning on nuisance streaming. Cell Block D awaits you. Here's where we shove all of the others like you.
I'm just saying that the dude that beat the shit out of Johnny Somali, the ex-Special Forces dude in South Korea, didn't go far enough. Just saying.
No. Look, I don't want him dead. I want him hurt. I want him to sit and think about his life choices.
That's the thing. He won't think about his life choices. He's constantly doing everything in his power to try and shift the blame onto other people, and he's been doing it every single he's not even going to accept the validity of his jail sentence. He won't. You know he won't.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just saying, the stupid is terminal.
Yeah, you can't have him think about the consequences because he can't think. Which is the first part.
He's not going
thinking about the consequences.
He's not going to. He could be, shown absolute and definitive and proof that he is in the wrong, and he'll sit there and say, "No, you're in the wrong."
Well, at what point does that become an action of survival?
For Johnny Somali?
Yeah, he's doing these things.
See, that's the thing.
He's trying to survive out of this.
What I'm thinking is that, like I said before at the top. He's like doing all these additional things, getting like just racking up more and more charges because he thinks that if he makes a big enough ass of himself, that South Korea will sit there and say, "Nah, he's not worth the time. Kick him back to America." That's not going to happen, idiot. That's not going to fucking happen. In fact, actually, they're going to put you in a deeper hole.
I'm not saying that he doesn't think that.
Oh, he absolutely thinks that. You're absolutely right, Adam. It's just that he's retarded.
Yeah, he thinks he has this, option, but no, they can still put you in the fucking hole. So.
Yes, they're gonna put him in a deeper hole.
Yeah,
and
they can put him in an even deeper hole because
I'm just saying that right now, if someone goes out there and ganks the fuck, it's a mercy killing. It really is.
And Quiz. You say that he's a retard. There's someone out there who is actively UV super gluing their ass cheeks together that just looked up and went, "That's mean to me."
Oh God!
I guarantee you, every single person that the dudes that that are local supermarket employees that are like special needs that have like Down syndrome and shit like that. I'm sure that they're way more functional than Johnny Somali. So I retract the retard statement. He's worse than a retard.
They're out there, the people just absolutely smuggling the shit out of every chromosome that they can find. Just looking at him going, and people say I'm retarded.
Yeah, right. At least they're functioning members of society, faggot.
I think we need to conjure a new term for this type of person.
Yeah,
because again,
faggot and retard just don't seem to be enough.
They don't hit as hard anymore.
Take water on a duck.
Yeah, it's just slide right off.
They seem to like you were as you were explaining it. He's actively trying to pull strings, and And it's like, okay.
Well, what he's doing is he's going out and making a bigger ass of himself. He's not
Yeah.
he's under court order not to stream. He can't make any money doing streams and stuff like that. He's under court order not to do any of that. He's still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You heard his defense for that though?
Yeah.
What?
He
It's not him.
sold his
It's Hank.
channel to Hank.
Yeah, it's Hank that's doing it. Hank is his
Lord.
little butt buddy, his little South Korean butt buddy.
Hank is going to get Hank. Look,
And he's gonna bring Hank down with him. He is.
yeah, he is an anchor around. He is an anchor around Hank's neck, and he's going to get him in so much shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't.
this is my belief. I don't actively hang around people that are actually trying to destroy my home. And warts and all, America's shitty, but still, it's my home, and I want to see it thrive. I don't hang around people that all they want to do is bring it down and destroy it. So why are you hanging around Johnny Somali, who is constantly insulting your home? You know, disrespecting your home. The Comfort Lady statues. These were symbols of a time when shitty shit happened to women, and he actively disrespected the honor and the memory of that. He is harassing your fellow citizens, and you may not like them all, but still, they are your countrymen, for better or for fucking worse.
Yeah.
You know, he is currently, he was one time broadcasting fucking propaganda from a nation that actively wants to destroy you. Hank, at some point, you got to kick this motherfucker to the curb.
Wasn't Hank originally American?
Hank
I don't
was
know.
trying to become an American,
Mm.
and then he got deported out of the country, and he's been trying to get back into the country ever since.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of figured. Yeah. Makes sense.
I can fucking see why.
Well, I just think it's funny that almost all of Somali's other friends, Ramsey Khalid Ishmael, by the way,
Yeah.
all of his other friends have completely deserted him. It's really funny. The only one that's sticking in his corner is Hank.
And I love
you're
how
right. Somali's a fucking anchor around his neck. It was brilliantly put. Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yep. And I love how it's at some point, he started begging like Ice Poseidon and the other one to get him back on Kick and whatnot.
On Kick, yep.
Hey, come on
Even
now.
fucking Ice Poseidon was going, dude,
Yeah,
I
bro.
legitimately hate you. I'm not doing shit for you. You give us a bad name. When fucking Ice Poseidon is saying that you give him a bad name,
Yep.
oh good fucking god.
Yeah, he's perfectly capable of shitting the bath himself.
Again,
Dude's on a terrorist watch list because of his shit.
Mm-hmm.
again, you fucked up something terrible. And
again, this is bring it back around to the first opening statement I had here. Legalize hunting nuisance streamers for sport.
look, I don't yeah.
I would totally taxiderm Johnny Somali. Hang him up like a squirrel in the corner. I mean, he's
Hang him up like a fucking squirrel, really.
Yeah, he's tiny enough for one. Put him in Hank's oversized suit too. That'd be really funny.
That's another thing. All right, so you go to the court. You're talking all this shit. You're talking all this shit, and first you come to the court drunk. All right, I'm going to excuse the suit thing because again, you didn't have a suit and you didn't want to seem disrespectful, so you had to wear a Hank suit. Whatever, it is what it is. But you're disrespectful. You're smiling at sticking your tongue out at members of the audience and the gallery and shit. The judge says take off the fucking hat. You put it back on. Take off the fucking hat. Dude, how old are you? You're supposed. This is 13, 14. This is child shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, grow the fuck up, dude.
You're not gonna.
Yeah, maybe he needs to go to jail. Maybe he needs to wait his life in prison.
He's getting what he wants
He's
by
going-
any reaction, like even proper reactions where it's like, shut the fuck up, fucking go to prison, dummy.
Yeah.
It's getting a reaction, and that's what he wants. He wants the reaction, and so like, dude. I understand a good trolling. All right, I do my fair share of
I
trolling.
don't think I've ever seen or experienced or
Trolling is an
witnessed.
art. All right, it is an art.
Yeah, even Jake woke up. And kidding me, dude.
But
It doesn't do any trolling.
I don't do
Get
any
out.
trolling. No, get out of here. But okay. So the way I described it to Adam once when we were when I was driving him to work, it just kind of like came to my mind. I'm like, okay, you could say that CKY or like Jackass, that those guys are kind of like the primogenitors of the prank channels, the nuisance streamers, and those kinds of guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's one very, very large difference between the two. That is very prominent.
Mhm.
Jackass and CKY did all of that shit to each other.
Yep.
Yes.
They didn't do that to innocent and random ass people.
Yeah.
Yes. They were all in on the joke, and they were all willing participants.
Mm-hmm. Very big difference.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what made them more official. You know, like they were all willing participants of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing if you're doing things out in public that just make you look bad or put you in an awkward position. So there's the show that was running for a while, Impractical Jokers.
Sure.
And there, it was them making fun of each other and putting each other in really awkward positions.
Awkwards are embarrassing. The major thing is
Yeah.
that they were trying to embarrass each other in public.
Yep. And occasionally they'd do something like, well, can you clip a balloon to someone? But that's shit that isn't going to hurt anyone. It isn't going to cause any problems.
It's not going to offend a nation's sensibilities, like with the whole fucking shit with the Comfort Woman statues.
Yes.
Like here's the thing. Like, in my opinion, that's one of the worst things he's ever done. But and that's the thing, is that he's not going to get prosecuted for that because it's not a crime. None of that he did at the Comfort Woman statues is a crime.
And that's
like,
the fucked up part.
When it fucks up people and businesses is when it's a crime. But like defacing a monument and shitting like that and like disrespecting a monument, that's not a crime.
Yeah, he's gonna get off.
Think about how many times here in the US that they've like dragged down statues and fucking vandalized that kind of shit, and no one suffers any consequences.
And that's
happens all the fucking time.
It should be some sort of, even if it is just a misdemeanor or a small fine or some, there should be some consequences for doing that shit.
I agree.
Now,
especially for like destruction of property, like when they tear down the statues and shit. Yeah, no, fuck those people.
Yeah, it should. You should get some sort of, like the two girls in fucking France that threw tomato soup on the sunflower painting by Van Gogh.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh yeah, we're protesting climate change. How the fuck are you protesting climate change by ruining a fucking painting?
Yeah.
Switch topics to those fucking idiots. You know what would get more people on your side? How about canvassing? How about, actively trying to talk to people instead of fucking, sitting in traffic while people are trying to get to work? Now I got my 5-minute commute now takes 3 hours because you fucks want to sit there and give your unemployed bullshit instead of actually doing something, instead of going out there and maybe making these fucking new fuels and new discoveries that it's going to help the world. You're just going to bitch until someone else does it for you.
Yeah, say that there's the crux of it. I can tell you why they do what they do. Is because number one, like there's research out there that can support their opinion, and you can debate that. You can like have it back and forth. You can talk about that with the contrasting opinion, whatever. I'm no master about the subject of climate change. I'm just saying that there's merits to both sides, and they can have that debate and they can talk about it. But
what it is it's going to be something in the middle, because the people that are completely dismissal, they're wrong. The people that are going, oh, we're going to die
tomorrow, yeah,
they're fucking wrong. There's elements of both sides that should be listened to, and it should be a discussion that is had.
Sanguine, just be careful. You don't want to step into the field of, have you never been?
What?
Oh, wow. Hold on. The three of you don't know this.
It sounds familiar. I can't place it, though.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a recent, well, not recent. I think it's like 2.5, beginning of April.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Joe Rogan episode with Douglas Murray and Dave Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I've talked to you
to me
about that, right?
Yeah.
And one of the points that Douglas Murray talked about was because Dave Smith was talking about how there was no humanitarian aid going into Gaza, and how there was a lot of like recently during the current Gaza-Israeli back and forth. There's been a lot of congestion of aid going into Gaza for the civilians. And this is what Dave Smith was going on, like, this is what's happening. And Douglas Murray's rebuttal was pretty much, well, I've been there and I've seen what's going on, and it doesn't look like that's happening. And when Dave Smith brought it up, Douglas Murray said, well, have you ever been to these key points or these checkpoints? And Dave Smith is like, no. And Douglas Murray is like, wait, you've never been to the checkpoints. And it sparked this whole, oh, so you haven't been to the war fields. So how are you talking about these war fields if you've never been there? Oh, wait.
I can't be informed unless I experience it firsthand.
You want to talk about the Ukraine-Russia
conflict?
Yeah. Have you ever been to the front line? No. Well,
that's a strange one, because there's some shit that I can understand. Have you ever been there? Have you experienced that? In certain contexts, when you're talking about the numbers of goods going into an area, that's not the proper context. Talking about the tension on the ground. If someone's talking about the tension on the ground and they go, well, I wasn't experiencing that when I was there. Have you been there? Well, no, I haven't been there. Wait, you haven't been there and you're talking about the sentiment on the ground? That I could understand. But
even then, you can have third party accounts and just be saying, well, hey, this these people say that the sentiment is this, and they were there.
I think ultimately the for me personally, I think the argument would be you having been there is not an argument. You don't have to be there to have any sort of opinion or viewpoint on the situation.
Yeah.
Like I said, for me, it is if you're talking about the temperament in the area and you aren't going, well, according to this or according to that, this is what it seems to be. You're just saying, well, this is the temperament at the ground. And someone who has been there going, well, that's nothing that I've experienced, and these things also contradict that. Wait, have you been there? That is a valid thing to bring up, because if you're talking about something that is that subjective, then
I would also say that also is contingent about time frame. If you're talking about something that's happening in the present, yeah, sure. But if you're talking about something that happened in the past, you can extrapolate that from historical context.
Well, no.
If it's far enough in the past, but I'd still say that if you have a first-hand account of the temperament of the event versus a third-hand account.
Hold on, Sanguine. This is where the problem lies. Is the whole point of the argument came up with, at some point Israel stopped allowing stuff going into Gaza. And there's been multiple reports of that happening. And Dave Smith's argument was, Israel's doing this. And Douglas Murray's rebuttal was, well, have you been there?
Which is why I was saying that in many instances, that is a really bad argument. In this instance, that then I gave the specific instance that I was talking about.
Yeah.
I give more credence to it. Because I'm not just going to say it's always a bad argument if I think there's an instance where it is an argument.
But no. Douglas Murray's, his weight behind the have you been there is he's been there, but he's been there under IDF kind of
protection.
He went through hanging out with the IDF.
That isn't at all what I'm talking about.
His viewpoint is
what Sanguine's talking about is he's talking about, like, if people say something about that in terms of like a sentiment or like a feeling or something that is subjective. Yeah. What you're describing is they're debating facts, and one guy is saying, I know better than you because I was there and I have a first-hand experience. Even though this other guy is sitting here going like, these people have reported that this is happening. These people have reported that this is happening. These people have reported that this is happening. And if 3 people are saying it's all happening, I think it's probably a good idea that it's happening. And this guy's sitting there and like, well, no, it can't be happening because I was there and I didn't see that happening.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm saying that I agree. When you're talking about the number of tons of goods going into an area, saying, well, I've been there, that isn't a valid argument in that instance.
I was there. Oh, really? Did you count all of those tons of things that were there when you were there?
You're saying that, everyone on the ground is terrified, and they're going...
Like there's any problems, but then when you drive it, there's these problems.
Yeah.
And, well, you didn't drive it when there was problems happening.
Yeah.
So,
but again, what I'm saying is that if it's someone saying, well, everyone on the ground during this event was terrified, and someone else was going, well, I was fucking there. Were you there? Because that wasn't the sentiment that anyone near me had. So this is a bit strange.
It all comes down to
becomes a valid argument.
Yeah, it all comes down to the fact that an opinion can be had in that regard. But I also think that the reason why Adam is bringing it up, Sanguine, and the reason why I kind of agree with him is that 99.9% of people, whenever they use the "well, have you been there" sort of argument, it's meant to discredit and silence the other person.
Not only that, but that is where the argument is that the whole point. It's not that these people are saying, hey, because again, Dave Smith kind of goes into this like it's a blanketed statement of like, oh, well, you're just bombing areas of Gaza and all. It's like you can very easily fall into the gap of cookie cutter type statements.
Yeah,
you can't just continue. You have to look. What about the incident where the ambulance was filmed being shot up while they're trying to rescue people? What about the known and newsworthy of the ambulance that went in to go and help people, and there was shadow. Like, there's instances that you can talk about where there was war crimes going on, or quote unquote war crimes. I don't know. I don't want to fucking discredit or say anything that's gonna blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But that's where it comes from. The problem is the opposite side immediately gets into stop talking about it.
Yeah,
which
you need to stop talking about it. Don't question it, and if you question it, you're immediately what Jordan Peterson recently said. You're a psychopath. Oh, because if you say it, all of a sudden, all these other crazy people might start springing up and joining up against. The thing that pissed me the fuck most off is the Christ is King shit. Is when he was like, oh yeah, and all of a sudden, if you say Christ is King, you know that there's going to be those people who are going to be like, yeah, we're going to say Christ is King. We don't believe it, but we're going to be fucking, using that to be ulterior. Fuck off with that shit, dude.
Because
stop it.
It's because they want to attack the Jews.
Stop saying it.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah, they want you silenced. Yeah.
Again, when I was talking about
and Candace Owens is a crazy bitch.
And
hey, she can be a crazy bitch, but she is still able to say Christ is King and believe that Christ is King, and not have that as being like, and all of a sudden I want all these Jews to die and blah blah blah. It's like, holy shit, are you fucking kidding me? You have to be that extreme.
It's frustrating because there exist people that would sit there and say
they will
Christ is King, and they want to genocide people. There are those kinds of people. It's just that you are then now taking those people and trying to apply that statement to everyone.
Yes, and that's the problem. If I were to sit there, and I'll sit there and say, I believe Adam Ruiz. I'll say Christ is King. Sure. I believe it. That's my religion. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that, and all of a sudden that means
you want to kill the Jews?
Das murder the Jew?
What the fuck?
Das Juden?
If you believe that, you have
you're the problem.
You have the fucking problem.
Yeah.
It's the same people that believe that when someone looks at an orc, they're thinking about black people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, same shit.
It is literally the same shit, just from the another angle. Oh well, orcs are actually the black people. How the fuck did you get that? Because they're evil.
Exactly.
How the fuck did you get that?
Well, no. It's even worse than that.
Because they're strong and they're stupid.
I say what? Because they're evil. I'm like, so you think black people are evil? No.
The author
Tolkien thought. I'm like, no.
How do you know what Tolkien thought?
You're the one that said that.
Yeah,
you said that. Tolkien didn't come out and say that.
Yeah,
I heard
that. I heard a shit ton of people say it was because they were evil. I heard a shit ton of people say that it was because they're strong but stupid. I heard a shit
they're not.
Ton of people.
Is that supposed to make it? Oh my god!
Wait, hold on. The Tolkien orcs aren't fucking stupid. They are very much capable of not only battle tactics but advanced planning.
Yeah.
Well, they are and aren't stupid. So they are stupid when it comes to certain things. They aren't stupid.
They're savants.
They're specialized. They're specialized.
Yeah, they're
when
specialized.
It comes to war.
Yeah.
So they can be very clever in war, but they aren't intelligent.
They can build a siege engine, but they can't build a fucking castle.
And building a siege engine isn't really building a really nice siege engine. It is building the most crude version of a siege engine.
Functional, but crude. Yeah.
It functions like it needs to.
There's one thing that I'm holding on to as a memory from high school. I remember we had a high school health class, and we had a whole section in it where we were talking about drugs. Mm-hmm. And I volunteered for the cocaine. Did a bump in the bathroom. But one of my favorite things, I found a book in our library And this is in Deerfield High School, right on the north side of Chicago. Pretty affluent area. It's run by a whole bunch of Jews.
Oh, geez.
Oh no! But what was really funny is that we were looking specifically for the most fucked up sort of like statements about cocaine, and I found one that I thought was absolutely hilarious. I don't remember the book. I don't remember the author. I don't even know if this book is still in the library anymore because we drew attention to it and it was really fucking funny. But we wanted to say, because of the quote in it, we wanted to bring the book in so that we could quote it because the quote was hilarious. And so we stood up in front of the class with a presentation, your blackboard and everything, all that kind of shit. And it said, oh yeah, and in this book, apparently cocaine, quote, gives black people superhuman strength.
Oh, cool.
So cocaine turns black people into Popeye with his spinach.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Dude, I think every race deserves their spinach.
Yeah, right? What's white people's spinach? Spinach?
You're right.
I think it's spinach.
What's white people's spinach?
Oh, shit.
I'm trying to my lineage because I eat my spinach. I'm crackhead the cracker, man. Sorry. I'll see myself out.
That's awesome.
Cocaine gives black people superhuman strength.
I didn't know that. This is probably why I'm not a full black man anymore. I don't do cocaine to get superpowers.
Damn it, man.
Yeah, but imagine if he had superpowers.
Yeah, right?
Could you imagine if Uncle Ruckus had
his superpowers?
I'd be able to send those darkies back to their homeland, licking it.
I just hurl them back to Africa.
Hurl them back. What do you do last time? I just grab a whole handful, just go away, darky.
Dude, right now, Reject and Hammer are watching this show and sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
That's it. That you guys cannot be in the same stream together ever again. Please tear Adam Sanguine. No more. Y'all can't stream together ever again. Nope.
Bro,
nope. Done.
Hammer's already like coding all the
racial slurs.
He had a little counter. He just.
Stream idea. Next time we all get together, we need to have a little click counter kind of something. Every racial slur just ding.
I was really worried where you were going with that for a moment.
Wait a minute.
Next time we're all together, I was half expecting we need to remember boot polish.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, look. There's an 80 slur limit on
we're all
YouTube.
Getting together in real life in August. I mean, we can get the boot polish.
Again, there's an 80 slur limit. Like we can't go over 80 slurs. So we got to keep them down. I think we're at 50.
Google's keeping a tally.
Yeah, Google's keeping a tally. I think we're at 50 right now. So gotta keep it down.
Gotta keep it down. Gotta keep it.
Yeah, gotta space them out. We can't be calling people moon crickets and spooks and spades and jigaboos. They can't be using those types of words. No. Can't be using those. You can't call somebody a cracker.
That just reminded me. I heard something.
Oh no.
It made me happy when
his ears were burning when he said
started.
cracker and hockey.
When it first started, it made me happy, and then it filled me with rage immediately after. Because I heard someone use the proper term for what they meant for a change. They called someone a Sambo rather than an Uncle Tom. And then I heard someone else immediately after they said that go, wait, is that like an Uncle Tom? You motherfucker!
Hold on. Now.
What?
Look, like I said, you can't be using no racial slurs. You can't call them kikes. You can't be no.
Oh no!
You
That's the worst one.
You can't say bagel muncher. You can't say that. You can't be saying those words.
Again, it just enraged me because this is something that has been pissing me off for fucking ages. Every time I heard someone call someone else an Uncle Tom, because I'm going, you're calling him the hero of the story. Uncle Tom in Uncle Tom's Cabin was a freed black man that helped other enslaved people run away to freedom. And at the end of the book, he is tortured to death rather than giving up the people that he was helping escape to freedom.
Well, you know what? That settles it, dude. I think we're going to have to do a 3-part movie series. We're going to do Uncle Tom's Cabin. You know, just again, we're going to show the reality of what these movies are, right?
Yeah, Uncle Tom's.
You got to do Birth of a Nation.
No, what's the Zibbity Doodah?
Song of the South.
Song of the South.
Which is
that's going to be hard to find, but I can try and find it.
No, it's not.
You can find it, right?
Well, it's in the Disney Vault. That's the problem.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's in the vault, but I know how to get. I know how to unlock the vault.
They had to go to a different vault.
Okay.
It's
and then the other one's probably going to be
Yo ho ho when the bottle.
that fucking joke.
Well, that's the problem. Is that like I
oh shit! Y'all want to see? Hold on.
I fly my Jolly Roger proudly, but you know.
Y'all want to see Kill a Mockingbird?
The Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, let's
wait a minute. Y'all say y'all want to do To Kill a Mockingbird. We just did that yesterday. No, not yesterday. Yes. Like, so we just watched To Kill a Mockingbird, the old one, the 67 version. It is fucking amazing. I highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's
To Kill a
fantastic.
Mockingbird's a great movie.
And again, it pisses me off every time I hear someone call someone an Uncle Tom, because Uncle Tom was the hero of the fucking story. He was the good guy. And they keep on using Uncle Tom as if it means Sambo. If you want to call someone a Sambo, call someone a Sambo. Sambo in Uncle Tom's Cabin was the black enslaved slave hunter. Who
he was institutionalized.
Was the one who was hunting down the runaway slaves that Uncle Tom was hiding and wouldn't think on. So if you want to call someone a traitor to their people, you call them a Sambo, not an Uncle Tom, because if you're calling them an Uncle Tom, it means that you're saying that they're so principled, they would rather be tortured to death
Hold on.
abandon them.
Hold on. Because recently I've been watching Boondocks, and I started with season 1. This is how you're supposed to watch these things. You go through season 1, then season 2, and all that. And I ran across the episode of the Legend of
Catcher Freeman.
Oh yeah, Catcher Freeman.
Catcher Freeman. Yeah, it's a good episode. Yeah.
And
Not Catch Her Freeman. It's Catch Freeman. Who told you?
The Uncle
Ruckus.
Ruckus.
Shit.
the Uncle Ruckus version of Catcher Freeman sounds kind of like what a Sambo does.
That's Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus is a Sambo.
Hold up now. I won't be hearing no discouragements against my visage, okay? Now, look, let me explain something to you. She looked like that mulatto skin she had, in the certain light, looked just like a white woman, and he was mesmerized. And when
Don't you go around touching that white girl.
Yeah, he was so mesmerized he had to sleep with her. And then she, when he woke up, she done killed the master, and he just like, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to live for. I guess I'll pop out little nigga babies.
See, that's the thing, man. Okay, so another little allegory here. I think it's really funny. I get myself in like some weird situations. There was one time I was going to the Sprint store back when Sprint was still its own thing, and I hadn't merged with fucking T-Mobile. I was going to the Sprint store to get a new phone. And so I go in there and I'm just like, okay, dude, look, I want to get this phone. It's all cool, right? And I was like waiting for the paperwork or whatever, but the entire store was run by black guys. And it was like 3 or 4 black guys. And then one of the guys went out to go and get lunch. And he's like, "Are you going to get lunch?" He's like, "Yeah." What do you do you want me to get you something? He's like, "Yeah, give me this." And he's like, "Yes, massa." And I just started laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a white guy and I'm laughing at that joke. I was like, I seriously hope that these people aren't going to be offended by the fact that I was laughing at an obvious joke, but they all just like laughed along with it, man. They're like, "Hey, man, you're cool."
Yep. Yeah, it's one of the things that always drives me up the wall is that little bit. Because if you're going to be a racist piece of shit, at least be a literate racist piece of shit.
Yeah, right.
Be a proper racist
accurate.
piece of shit.
Be
Yeah.
accurate.
Use the proper slur. Don't try to call someone a slur and then end up instead saying, "You're a morally righteous person that would rather be tortured to death than give up someone that they think shouldn't be subjected to this."
I'm just immediately going back and thinking about the one stream that Pippa did with Fillion. And Fillion like goes to like the bathroom or whatever and leaves Pippa alone. And Pippa just goes, "Hey, chat, you want to say some slurs?" Or no, you like saying slurs?
Hey, sometimes I just want to let loose.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to continue, guys, is approaching 12 o'clock.
So it is.
And I got
Yep.
I got a quick joke here. Date a girl who wears glasses. It's like dating two girls when she takes them off. Wash off her makeup and then you date three girls. Remove her Instagram filter and then you date four. Take her off her meds and you can have up to 10.
Man,
Anyway,
seems like a hassle.
So, parting words.
I like pain. It hurts sanguine.
No, it doesn't.
Say Tang, like the orange juice drink.
the orange drink. Yeah.
I like pain. It hurts sanguine. What the fuck you hear Tang from?
I don't know. I thought you were an astronaut. But
Pain is weakness leaving the body.
my final thoughts are, I want to thank you both for letting me hang out, and for everybody in chat, thanks for hanging out. I love you all. God bless.
Hold on a second. I got another final thought. I would like to get up. As you all have heard tonight, I was reading from the book of Flesh and Ears, and there will be a quiz. There'll be a quiz next stream.
Well,
I expect you all to study it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm right here.
No, it will be a test. There will be a test on everything we talked about. It's going to be a closed book too, okay? Y'all can't be reading. I need to make sure y'all learn something tonight.
Yeah, and if you don't, we're gonna cancel you on Twitter.com.
Exactly. We're going to cancel you on Blue Sky too, just to piss you off. And your mom, going to cancel her too. Yeah.
Inquisitor, parting words.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
I have proof it was him.
And I will leave off with, if you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
Hey, hold on. What's this
that?
proof?
Say again?
There's no proof.
There's always proof if you look hard enough.
The sound of the tear working on the tank.
And with that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
Good night.
Saludos.
Oh, you just spouting all that good shit a second ago.
And now I click.
What's good?
What's good?
What's really good?